Hello there, I'm Nigel Mill, and I'm going to tell you a fun fact. I haven't recorded anything for 2 years or something like that. I had, last year I went full on the Elden Ring co-op thing because I had a lot to upload and a lot to edit. So last year I did not record a single damn thing except for videos with Sombra. And the same this year. I haven't recorded anything. And I have been on a, I wouldn't say a break, but I haven't been uploading absolutely anything for 4 months now. And I'm going to tell you a story, a not very pleasurable story, not very exciting story at all. I'm going to tell you a story where heartbreak and blood and was spilled and just despair. Not very good things. Anyways, maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe I'm not. You shall see. You shall see. Anyways, so I'm going to tell you recently what happened to me. This is a very annoying story for me, but I will tell it nonetheless. It's gonna be a long one, so sit tight. My debacle first started when Nvidia announced that there will be a new graphics card coming in what was it, February or January? I don't remember which one. Probably January, I think. One of the first days. Anyways, Nvidia said, hey, 4080 Super is going to appear. That's going to replace the 4080 normals. So that means, a way back in my channel, one of the many videos, I think, I said that when the 3080 came out for $600 or something like that, I was like, damn, that's an amazing deal, because before I had a 1080. The 1080, while it is amazingly, good and ran very well in the last couple of years, it is not the case anymore. My 1080 has been really struggling. Actually, the entirety of all the videos I have made on my channel is because I had a 1080 on all those videos, right? And I started, noticing lag. I started noticing, button inputs and all that stuff. My 1080 is still running tough and all that stuff, and it plays games perfectly well, and the older games, but the newer ones, it's struggling very hard, especially since I had a Intel i7 7700K CPU, and that CPU is very dated in today's standards. So when a long time ago Nvidia launched the 3080, I would say, wow, $600? Damn, that's a very nice upgrade, because it was like 2 or 3 times faster than my 1080, and it was the same price as a 1080. And I'm like, damn, when it comes out, okay, I'm gonna get it. Guess what happens? A whole lot of damn scalpers, scum of the wasteland of humanity. The scalpers got everything. The crypto bros got every single little thing to squeeze, the market dry of 3080s, and absolutely no one could get a 3080 anymore, except, tech reviewers, and people that fork out like $2,000 when the card was $600 officially. Now these scalpers are charging like $2,000 for them. And I said, no, fuck off. I don't need it. I'm not going to pay an exorbitant amount for a 3080 that should be $600. I'm not going to pay like 2, 3, 4 times the price for a card that is a lot less cheap than the scalpers are asked for. So, during a lot of time, during all that period, I kept with my 1080. I didn't change it. I didn't cave in. Whoa. So, that cut that you just saw, my somehow when I record on my laptop and I put the microphone after it boots, somehow OBS disconnects it automatically. So now I switch to my main lady, my computer. Huh. I have an idea. What if with my new and improved PC I can record my face and the game at the same time? Ooh, that's an idea. Anyways, back to what I was saying before. So where was I? Something about 3080 that I didn't cave in, when the scalpers overpriced it to hell and back, right? And then a kind of beacon of hope for me was that Nvidia announced the 40 series that was incoming. But unfortunately, when the 40 series were announced, I saw the price point, and they were twice as expensive as the 30 series. Almost twice as expensive without being twice as faster. It was just like 50% or 40%, 30% faster than the 30 series, yet they asked for almost double the price. And when that news came out, I said, Nvidia, fuck you too. You can go fuck off with those scalpers too. So I was not happy that I still got stuck with my 1080. I would have been amazingly, perfectly fine if I paid for a 4080 for $600. That would be amazing. But no, they decided to put it up at $1,200. Fuck off, Nvidia. That goes to show you that you should never trust or give your loyalty to any company whatsoever. So, fast forwarding, then the 4080 Super came out. And it was $200 less. Wow, what an improvement, right? But it was $200 less than the normal 40 series. And so, like 5 years already passed since the 30s launch, and I'm like, I still have this 1080 right here. It's I'm playing Elden Ring, it lags. I'm playing Callisto Protocol, it lags. I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077, it lags. I'm playing, strangely enough, Skyrim super modded. Of course, that, depending on the mod, it is quite an improvement in graphics, but it lags. So I'm like, you know what, Nvidia? Fine. and I finally caved in. And I got myself a 4080 Super. I'm not that excited because I still have to fork over like $1,000. But anyways, I got my 4080 Super. It's installed on my computer. But when I got this, uh, it was on my old computer. Right now I have a completely new computer. Well, kind of completely new computer. Anyways, the story goes on. I installed this bad boy on my previous computer, and I played Helldivers 2 since oh, and by the by, Helldivers 2 video coming out soon. I have a rant, a long rant for that game. Anyways, back to the story. I installed this on my old computer because before on with my 1080, the game Helldivers 2 run like shit. Shit. It I could never go above 25 FPS. The controller input was insane. When I aimed like this and stopped, the character would keep aiming until here, and it was insanely bad. I got pissed off, and it is one of the reasons why I got myself this, a 4080 Super. So I got my 4080 Super, installed it on my old PC, and guess what? 60 FPS. Yeah. But since everything else wasn't upgraded, I still have lag. I still have uh, controller sway. I still had delays and all that stuff. It was better, but still bad. And so I thought to myself, why is this happening? And I knew why. It was because my CPU is completely outdated. It was, like I said before, it was an i7 7700K chip, and that chip cannot support this. No way. It's way too slow. And at that point I said, well, if I'm going to have the best bang for the buck with my 4080 Super, then I need to upgrade everything else. And that means building a almost completely new computer. So that is where my problems began. So, since probably most of you know, when you upgrade everything in the system, you need to upgrade the motherboard first and foremost, and it needs to be compatible with a CPU compatible chip, because in the motherboard there is a CPU chip that is specific to the chip that you are buying, and that chip is, if you bought a chip that is not compatible with the motherboard, it's not gonna work. So I bought a new motherboard, bought a new CPU, and I bought the DDR5 version of the thing, so I needed to get the DDR5 sticks. Again, this is where all my problems began, because I got these new items to upgrade my computer in, let's see, March 7. From March 7, I got everything. the 4080 Super I got in January. So I had, some time to, struggle with my old system and the 4080 Super until I could get my hands on the new equipment that I ordered. So that is where everything went wrong. So I got the first item that I have got is new motherboard from Gigabyte, and along with this, I got the DDR5 from G-Skill Trident Z5, and the bane of my troubles. I'll tell you why later. An i9 14900K CPU from Intel. I'm gonna tell you why everything went wrong later. So, I was excited, to build my new system because I built, my old PC before. I mean, the case I bought it pre-made. The motherboard I have not changed it, so no, wait a moment, I changed the motherboard too. Anyways, the only thing that has not changed in my own PC it was the mother the case, the PC case, and one of the hard drives that came with it. So those are the only two things that never changed from my old PC. So I knew what to do. I knew how to install motherboards, I knew how to install CPUs, I knew how to install this and that and this and that and that and this. So uh first, like I said, motherboard with the DDR sticks, with the new processor. I put it all together. And oh my god, that is when everything went completely insane crazy. So the first time I booted it up worked. But then when I played any game, it would blue screen. You know those blue screen that happen when you see in funny videos or memes, uh, or hopefully not in your own system, where when you're doing something critically wrong goes on your computer and it crashes, and there will be a blue screen with a sad face saying to you that this and this happened, this error, and there you go, a QR code to bring you to a site that does absolutely nothing. So that kept happening to me constantly. Every 10 minutes, it would blue screen. My new computer that I spent a lot of money on just everything was wrong. And the blue screen error message told me that the memory was faulty. So obviously, I put my attention on this, the DDR sticks, because this is memory. Random, uh, what's his name? Memory access, or what? I don't know the abbreviation for it, but it is memory. So, uh, I bought a replacement for it, and I came to buy this instead. It is the same thing, but this one is 16 gigabytes, I think. The hell does it say 16 gigabytes? Anyways, this was 16 gigabytes. This is 32 gigabytes. So I thought, hey, more memory. It's new. And this is from Corsair, the Vengeance. I bought a new one. I removed the previous DDR sticks and installed this one. Same shit happened. I was getting blue screen constantly. Whenever I played a game, there was more blue screen constantly. And then I said, wait, there's something seriously wrong with this. This should not happen. All of this should not happen, because I got a new CPU, I got a new motherboard, I got a new DDR sticks, I got a new graphics card. Why would, the DDR sticks fail even though I bought 2 sets of new DDR sticks and still give me blue screen? And then at that point I made one of the worst decisions in my entire life. And I bought a overpriced motherboard that gave me even more problems, believe it or not. So before I bring out the next thing I bought to fix my problems, this motherboard, I thought, since I'm getting all these blue screen errors and blue screen errors and blue screen errors and blue screen errors every fucking 10 minutes, I decided maybe the motherboard software is out of date. Maybe. And I tried to update it, with the Q flash, with the USB, with the, upgrade BIOS in it. I put the USB stick as the Q load in the motherboard BIOS to update it. And guess what? The very first second that it went from the Q flash to the Q flash to upgrade or update the motherboard, that is when my entire system suddenly somehow shut down completely. There was no blackout in here. There was the light was still on, the air conditioner was still on, my other TV was on, everything was on except my computer, and it suddenly just shut down while it was updating this motherboard. If you don't know how grave that is, it is super fucking grave, because once you are in the process of updating a motherboard with a USB stick with the motherboard software update, this no longer works. If it somehow gets interrupted, that process gets interrupted, it is gone. This doesn't work anymore. I turned my PC back on and nothing happened. The RGBs from the DDR sticks weren't on. The 4080 RGB wasn't on. The fans weren't on. Nothing was on. That is when I just completely bricked. Well, not me. There was an error somewhere, and I bet it was either the memory sticks or the CPU, but I'll tell you that later. This is now bricked. It cost me like $200, let's say. So, if someone out there is generous enough to buy a brick motherboard from me that doesn't work, it does not work, but if you want to donate to me and get this piece of shit, then write it in the comments and maybe I'll get to you. And, you know, maybe I'll give you my email and all that stuff so we can figure something out. And then I'll give you a piece of shit motherboard that doesn't work. Remember, caution, this doesn't work. So don't accuse me of cheating on you or plagiarizing on you. This is just purely for donation's sake. Anyways, after that debacle happened, after the motherboard was completely bricked and I couldn't do anything about it, I made one of the worst decisions in my entire life. I got a new thing. I need to peel this off. Wait a moment. I'm not talking about my caucus. I'm talking about something else. Ah, fuck it. Whatever. I can't get the freaking super sticky sticker off of it well enough. So, anyways, that is when I made one of the worst decisions in my entire life. It was go to Best Buy. That was my first mistake. And get a new motherboard since my other one just got bricked. So this is what I got. Asus. It was Asus Strix gaming Wi-Fi 790E. The 790 is right here, but you can't see because of its sticker, but it's a 790E. So this one could also support the same things that the other one had, which was the correct socket for the CPU and the DDR5. The problem with Best Buy, first and foremost, is when you buy things here in Puerto Rico from Best Buy, Best Buy forwards to you, the customer, the shipping cost of what it took to bring this here in this island in Puerto Rico. They move the payment to you, so you pay it. Nice, amazing, right? So I saw this for $300 is already overpriced in normal USA you know, Best Buy. So but when I got to the cashier, this from $300 suddenly blew up to $500. And I said, wait, whoa, what? Do you have any other options? And the guy said, well, we have an MSI one, but you know, the Asus ones are the best ones. So, and I said, but that MSI one is not the one I need. I'll have to wait 2 weeks to get the other motherboard here. And you know, I'm pressed for time because my motherboard just got bricked. You know, whatever. Give me this for $500, and that was the worst decision I've ever made. Because when I installed this on my computer, these two DDR this where is it? This DDR right here and that DDR right there, or maybe it was backwards. This DDR slot and this DDR slot, they were completely non-functional. So I just paid $500 for a defective product. And at that time, I still had the 15 days return rate. Wow, 15 days, very generous from Best Buy, right? Anyways, I do not like Best Buy either. But anyways, I installed this, and then I quickly found out that this will not run my PC if I had the DDR sticks either here, here, or here. So that means I cannot put the correct configurations of these sticks. I could not put it because it would not run correctly. It would not run at all. It would not post. So I went to the review site for this, and I saw that many other people are having the same freaking problem with these slots. The A1 and A2 doesn't work, but somehow the B1 and B2 works. So this is already a defective product. The problem was that I contended with it for more than 15 days, unfortunately, voiding the warranty from Best Buy until I ran into some serious problems. You know, before with the other motherboard, where my system would blue screen every 10 minutes, this motherboard, it did not blue screen until 10 days after the buy, right? Still have 5 days. I still have 5 days. But I kept trying to fix it in those 5 days, and I was, modifying the BIOS. I was putting different configurations. I started looking at my power supply and see if that was the problem. And then when on the 12th day of having this, it blue screened like before. It blue screen and blue screen and blue screen and blue screen and blue screen. And I was like, what the fuck? I just bought a super expensive motherboard, and now I can't return it because the 15 days were up, and I was there like a fucking asshole trying to fix it. Like, I thought that I would succeed in fixing it. So, again, if somebody out there is generous enough to support me on my loss, that they would buy a completely broken motherboard from Asus. Fuck Asus. But if one of you are generous enough to, I don't know, buy this for $500 like it cost me before, then it's all yours. If you write it down in the comments, I might get to you and everything. But remember, this is defective. Also, like the other motherboard, this is also defective. But, it's like a donation. If you want to donate to me and, make my plight less treacherous, then I'm happy to give you this. Good. And if you can fix it, good luck to you. After that tomfoolery happened, I was at my wit's end. I kept trying to fix things. I kept trying to do more. I kept trying constantly to figure out what was wrong, because the DDR sticks were my primary problem that I had identified before with my first bought motherboard. And I was at my wit's end because I bought 2 of them. 2! And I thought to myself, there's no fucking way it's these. It's no fucking way. So then I figured out the crux of my problems. The thing that fucked up everything so bad that I was searching for one problem in my system where in reality there was 2 problems that made me focus on this problem and not this problem. So I went to Google and and posted every fucking bought item that I purchased and have. That is where I found the motherfucker. The thing that was giving me all these hard times, the thing that was giving me all these problems, the thing that was crashing my system, the thing that fucked everything up, that got me anxious, that got me stressed, and that got me to the point of depression. The thing that I just could not believe it was the problem in the first place. It was this motherfucker right here. Everywhere you look, I didn't look before because this was just out in January or in December or somewhere along those lines where it came out. And the tech reviewers at that point gave praises to this, and I thought, hey, I'll get it. But unfortunately, Intel are motherfucking con artist thieves who don't know how to make good products and expect to, and blame others for their tomfuckery. This is the CPU. This is the computer chip that I bought. The first thing I bought was this. $500. Already overpriced piece of shit. But I bought this first. I couldn't even suspect that this was the problem. That this was the thing that was crashing my system, that is making my graphics card unstable, my DDR6 unstable, my motherboard's unstable, to the point where it crashes constantly every 10 minutes or every time I open a game or save in a game. The reviews that are out there right now that I did not know before was, this thing is unstable as fuck. It is pulling way too much voltage for what it is required, what it is safely required to run as. It is putting double or triple the voltage of what it should have. So, this is the first thing that I install in my system, and everything got fucked because of this. Because the motherboard was putting, the motherboard settings were putting way too much power on this, and this doesn't have a safety mechanism. Intel fucked up, and recently NVIDIA said there will be an error with the Unreal Engine games that say you are out of memory, blah, 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 blah. And NVIDIA blamed Intel for it. And then Intel blamed the motherboard manufacturers for this instability. Like, what the fuck? Intel, you have a serious problem. This costed me $500 and now I cannot use it anymore. And again, I'm serious. If somebody wants me to do, to give you this defective product for $500, comments, and I will probably get to you, and I will thank you for your contribution and everything that. But for 3 months, I had this problem, constantly crashing, constant instability. Programs closing by themselves. When I save a game, it probably crashes, and most of the time it will blue screen my system. This was the cause of everything. I'm still mad about it. And I don't know, I get what I deserve because I did not go in depth looking into the problems of this. Oh, by the by, if you didn't know, this is a 14th generation i9 Intel Core. It's not here. Whatever. It's a. This is a 14,900K. No, 14,000K. No, 14,900K. I think. Wait a moment. It's not in the box for some reason, or that, or I'm too lazy to pick out every single word in the freaking manual. Anyways, this is an 14th gen Intel i9 14,900K CPU chip. This is the problem. The problem with Intel is they did not obligate the motherboards to establish a setting for this to make it run safely in their motherboards. Intel decided they would rather shut up, make them look good, and not address the problems that they have with their CPU chips. Intel decided not to say a goddamn thing about anything until they were called out by Nvidia. And that was in February or something like that, very recent. So this chip has been out for like more than 5 months or something like that, and yet it is just now that Nvidia calls out Intel, and Intel themselves blame the motherboard manufacturers for not doing something that they didn't say themselves, and just there you go, the motherboard will pull the maximum output of what this is telling the motherboard that are the right settings. Sure, blame it on the motherboard manufacturers, right? Blame it on them, Intel. Intel had a responsibility to put limits on their products, if that is by notifying the motherboards companies that, hey, your motherboard might, over voltage this CPU, so when this CPU is installed on your motherboard, here are the settings, here are the voltages that you need to run them as, and that's it. But guess what Intel did? Nothing. Intel did absolutely zero things until they were called out. That is one of the reasons why I fell in this trap. That I bought this piece of shit and I can't. That was the crux of all of my problems. It was why my computer was crashing. It was why my programs were closing. It was why my computer was blue screening every single time I had this in it. So I made an extremely expensive decision after that. I decided to completely start from almost new, like 75% new things. That meant I bought a new case, a new PC case, because I wanted something bigger for my 4080 Super. I bought new DDR5 sticks just in case the other DDR sticks were also malfunctioning. I bought a new motherboard because the Asus one was shit. was complete shit. Yeah, and I also bought a AMD CPU chip. I am completely done with Intel and their tomfoolery. Sure, AMD has their problems, but as to this day, the thing that I am recording on, the thing that I am playing, zero crashes, zero blue screens, zero programs closed, zero. And it was because this piece of shit was damaging everything I had. So I decided to just almost start from scratch. I got a new motherboard that is MSI Mag B650 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. You know, when I installed this at first, these the where is it? The LAN or the Wi-Fi part of it did not work, but after I started for a second time and downloaded the drivers and restarted everything, it works completely 100% correctly now. But I bought this. I bought a motherboard casing. It's right there in the floor. I will not pick it up because it's pretty big. I bought a Dominator Corsair 32 gigabytes DDR5. I bought it, and I wanted to buy another CPU chip from AMD, but those weren't available at Best Buy at that moment, so I got myself a AMD Ryzen 9 7950X, not the 3X, just the X. And right there. I don't know if I can right there. 79. It says 79. Oh my god. Focus, focus, focus. There you go. It says 7950X, right? So I bought all of them. And let me tell you, when I completely assembled the system, which took me a complete evening to do, this right now is running on my PC. It's running, recording and everything. I spend days playing Baldur's Gate. I spend days playing trying to play Helldivers 2. I played Armored Core. Perfect. It runs perfectly. This was the answer to all my problems. Intel fucked up royally, and because I had an i7 7700K from Intel before, and it ran perfectly. You know, on my old system, it ran perfectly. But this is the problem. The 14 and 13 gem seems to completely fuck the entire CPU architecture. And it's just bad. It's bad. So this was the answer to everything. This cost me the same amount that it cost this, $500. So it was an extremely expensive endeavor. I spent a lot of months. You know, my problems started in February, or where was? Yeah, I started on January with the 4080 Super because the CPU could not run or support the 4080 Super. It could not keep up with it. So that is where my problems began. And in April or March or February, no, March, I think, that is when everything went to shit because I bought this. This was the problem of everything. So all that time that I thought that these were the problems, it was not the case. It was the CPU chip that I had from the very beginning of my build. I didn't even suspect that it was the CPU. I did not even suspect for 1 second it was that until I have tried every possible option available to me. And that is where I realized that my CPU was the problem of everything. So I'm not saying that the new system that I have right now with this isn't perfectly well. You know, like I said, I had 0 crashes, I had 0 blue screens, I have 0 problems. Well, except for one thing, it takes 3 minutes to boot up the system with this for some weird reason, but I adjusted some settings on the BIOS and now it, in under 1 minute it boots. So that was the only problem I had. It was an inconvenience, but nothing major. This right now is working for me. So now that I have this working for me, maybe now I can continue making videos. Maybe I can continue, playing games. Actually, I'm not gonna use this green screen right here anymore because every time, I record a recording session, my ass hurts. uh, and, it's not comfortable for me. So I am going to do a new setup, right? Without the green screen, unfortunately, but I'm gonna try something new. And hopefully, hopefully this new system, the new CPU, and the other parts, hopefully it will run as intended. Hopefully everything will run like it's supposed to compared to when I had this. So, again, if somebody wants to be generous and buy this for $500 or the Asus motherboard for $500 or the other Gigabyte motherboard for $200, hey, if someone out there is that generous, hey, I will, if you write it in the comments, I will probably contact you and all that stuff because I never shipped anything to anywhere, so it's gonna be a first time experience for me. But if somebody out there is generous and down the line, they want defective products, again, warning, those are defective products, so you will get a defective product. If somebody wants to get it, that is just goodwill on their part, not because they want to expect something working on their part. You know what I mean? So again, that's just if somebody is willing to be extremely generous. Anyways, it has been an extremely arduous process. It has been an extremely arduous time. I was defeated many times. I was stressed. I was not having a good time. But, I took some time off my computer and I played with Sombra. I spent my entire day playing with the Nintendo 3DS. I spent my time playing with the 3DS. I play Monster Hunter and all that stuff. And another thing that was, filling my time, because for large periods of time, my computer was, again, non-functioning, right? So I filled my time with relics of the past. I played with the 3DS and something you would never expect. PSP. I played with PSP along those arduous times. So it kept my stress a bit down, but I still could not believe that all my problems were just because of one CPU chip. All of my problems, and they were expensive problems too. Like, I don't have all the money in the world, so it was very, very expensive. Like that. Yeah. That was very hard on me. But anyways, that was my story of what happened in these months. Um, right now, my system is running fine. I have not experienced any problems. The 4080 Super that I now can play at maximum efficiency, that's a sexy beast. It's a very sexy, expensive beast. The CPU that I got, the new one, is not crashing anything at all. The new case looks sexy. I also, with the new stuff, the case, the new motherboard, I bought a water cooler, a water CPU cooler also. So my computer is never hot. Before, it radiates, all of my room with heat. This, it has 5 fans, and 2 of those fans are glued to a water cooler radiator. So that's even more a temperature control over my entire system. So, hey, it's running, it is working. I can play, I can save videos, I can edit videos, I can do what I could do with my old system, but better this time. So, yeah. Anyways, that was my story. Very arduous. A lot of bad times. But, man, like I said, it was not too bad because I spent a lot of time outside of my computer room, and I just played with Sombra almost all day, and I played PSP and 3DS games, so it was fine until I could get the parts that I needed to, actually build the PC and all that stuff. Anyways, it's a long video, but that is exactly what happened in these months. So, again, if somebody wants to be extremely generous, you can get 3 defective products. You have 3 to choose from. And, yeah, maybe I'll be in touch. Maybe I won't. Again, I don't pay a lot of attention to my email. I don't pay a lot of attention to the comments. I just, if I catch you, I'll catch you. Anyways, thank you everybody so much for watching this video, and hopefully see you soon on the next one.